Most of the people preparing for the Duolingo English test try to practice every single question type. They go through everything, trying to cover as much as possible, but I actually do the opposite. I only focus on 3 core tasks, and the reason is not because the other tasks don't matter. It's because I realized most of the test is built on a few core abilities. So instead of asking how many question types should I practice, I started asking a different question: what abilities are actually being tested? And I remember something very clearly. When I first tried to fill in the blanks and listen and type, I had a very strong feeling. This is not just another question type. This is testing something much deeper. It's testing your core ability. Because if you are not strong enough in these 2 areas, you start to notice something very quickly. You struggle everywhere else. If your reading is not fast and accurate, you can't fully understand the question. And in the test, you are constantly reading. You are reading prompts, instructions, questions, and trying to understand them quickly. This applies to interactive reading, interactive writing, read then speak, even writing tasks in general. Before you can answer everything well, you need to understand it first. So this reading ability is not just for one question type. It shows up almost everywhere, and the same thing happens with listening. If your listening is not clear enough, you can't even catch what is being asked. And that doesn't only affect listening questions. It directly affects your speaking. Because if you don't fully understand the prompt, how can you respond clearly? So listening is not isolated. It supports your speaking. If input is weak, your output becomes weak too. And once these 2 break down, it doesn't matter what strategy you use. The rest of the test becomes very difficult. That's when I realized these are not just the question types. They're the foundation of the whole test. So for me, everything comes down to 3 things. First, fill in the blanks. This is not just the vocabulary. It trains fast reading, sentence level understanding, grammar sensitivity, and decision-making under time pressure. Second, listen and type. This is not just the dictation. It trains whether you can hear a full sentence, hold it in your mind, and process it as language, not as translation, not as fragments, as a complete structure. And third, speaking. This is about the real-time output, not thinking first, not translating, but responding directly. So when I look at these 3, I don't see 3 questions. I see a system: reading and recognition, listening and processing, and speaking as output. And once this system starts working, most other question types are just variations. A lot of students believe the more question types I practice, the better. But in reality, you are just spreading your attention too thin. You are just training in the wrong direction. So my approach is very simple. Instead of trying to cover everything, I focus on the few things that show up everywhere. Because the goal is not to practice more, the goal is to build a system that can actually work in the real test. If your score is stuck, it may not be about effort. It may be about focus.